Yeah, so then we both have to do a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh.
Here we go.
Woo!
Here
Doggy.
we go.
All right.
How long does the average... This is an interesting question, too. I really like this question. I added it to the end. This actually was going to be a tiebreaker, but now this is going to work out good.
It's kind of a tiebreaker.
Yeah. How long does the average whitetail buck live in a hunted population?
Welcome to the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast.
Yeah, it's it. This is it. This is Wilderness Wavelength Podcast. Hi, I'm George.
Welcome squared.
Welcome
to the Wilderness Wavelength
Welcome
Podcast.
squared.
Welcome
That intro was done by Craig. Love Craig. He does our intros and
Craig's
our
amazing.
splitters. Yeah.
I know Craig personally.
Yeah.
He's an excellent person.
His cat Ling Ling just turned 15 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
15?
15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ling Ling. Is
Ling
it
Ling.
Chinese?
I don't know if cats have like
Lineage or like a of course, a heritage, like a Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
They do?
Well, there's different cats that were raised in different parts of the world. Sure, it's the same thing
That's true.
as humans.
No, I don't think it's Chinese.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it? Canadian? American. Why would they call him Ling Ling? Her Ling Ling.
Very good question. Not sure the answer to that one. We could get down to business right now. You want to talk? Should I call Craig right now and see why is your cat's
Yeah,
name
I
Ling Ling?
think so.
Yeah.
Well, let's
By the way,
answer
this is
question.
our best friend, Jamie Merkel, on the podcast.
Hey, guys.
Jamie, live in Hinton right now. Made the trip up from Nelson, BC.
I only make the trip up once a year, and I'm very thankful and grateful that George, Christina, and Casey and Kodak opened their door to me.
Yeah. Oh, we're always excited to see you here. You showed up just in time for Halloween, so we are wired on chocolate. the amount of chocolate we have gotten in the past day, I don't know how we're going to eat it in the whole year. Like, it's buckets of chocolate.
Yeah. Well, 2 buckets, and not very big buckets. You could share it. That's how you.
I know,
get
but Case
rid
is
of
like we're trying to like say, hey man, like have 2 chocolate bars a day.
Oh,
And he's like, let's just have a handful. I'm like, well,
what?
it's bedtime.
Here's the thing. Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying anything about your parenting because you're good parents. I'm just saying.
Boy.
Maybe
Coming from a guy with no kids. Here we go.
Maybe you just give him a whole bunch of candy. You let him take it to daycare, and you say, "Hey, you can hand this out to the other kids."
They don't even daycare does not like them
is
to
that
bring
bad?
candy.
I said I don't have.
They want like healthy
yeah.
food, so you got to bring like fruits and roll ups and
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'd be down with us bringing candy for all the kids there.
So you get a piece like cauliflower,
Yeah.
a head of cauliflower. You cut it in half.
Yeah.
You carve it out.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like what people do with Bibles, where they cut out the Bible.
Oh yeah,
the middle of
I like
Bibles.
where this is going.
And then you throw the candy in the middle
Yeah.
of the cauliflower. You bring that.
Yeah. Cauliflower infused with coffee crisp. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a bad idea, actually. Probably not the healthiest.
No.
And Case not real good at like subtlety, you know?
Oh, no?
He would eat the coffee crisp and then throw the cauliflower at his friend in class. So, yeah.
He likes vegetables, though, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like he'll go through a poutine pretty quick, and that's got some nice potatoes in it. And, yeah.
Potatoes, that works. Yeah, gravy.
Yeah. This episode of the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast, we are talking. Well, we went hunting today.
Yes.
Based on if you listen to the last episode, if you haven't listened to it, stop this right now. Go back to listen to the one previous because we followed a lot of the tips on the previous podcast.
Lots of the tips, and they were really helpful.
Yeah. So we went out. Last episode based on like hunting tips, hunting techniques. We're like, okay, we're gonna get a deer today. This is what our plan is. Mm-hmm. So we went out last night and we got. I bought a doe call.
Yeah. Primos.
Yeah, Primos. You flip it over and it goes.
Is that your deer call? Sounds like a seal, but higher pitched.
Yeah. And then, so I'm like, okay, that's definitely going to work. And then we got a rattling bag with just like some plastic rods and a rubber bag, and you jam them together. And they call it a battle bag even. And
Because it's two bucks.
Yeah,
that
two
are
bucks
battling.
going at each other.
Yeah.
We're in the rut right now, so this is supposed to work. And then you bought another deer bleat.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a duck call. Like if you can picture like a 6-inch long sort of.
Yeah. It's just a call that you use with your mouth. You hold it and it's like a whistle.
Yeah.
And you blow into it,
and we also got some
it.
scent spray. $13 for a bottle, like about the size of like a Windex bottle, and you spray it on your clothing. And it's supposed to smell like the forest floor,
and it does quite a bit actually.
So yeah, we were geared up today. We had camo on too. Like we were rocking some good camo.
Yeah, you look pretty good in your camo.
Yeah.
You had the camo pants,
jacket.
Yeah, you
camo
had a toque
up.
on.
Yeah,
so they couldn't see your hair.
right.
Yeah. There was some dog hair on it.
We did a little bit. Like we got out early, so like we got to the spot just as legal light hit, pretty much.
Blends into the. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We were out there good
8:30,
nice and early
ish.
Yeah, the sun was just rising.
Yeah. Found some freshest deer tracks. Like they've been around in the last 24 hours for sure.
Definitely.
Tracked them into the trees.
I think they were walking through there while we were walking through there. Uh-huh. We were just looking in the wrong spots.
Yeah.
Because when we had
we
had gone through the whole way, like when we had gone in there and then we did a loop basically around the area and we came back, we saw like fresh. I'm talking probably like hours where patches of piss.
Yeah.
Where these deer had pissed.
It does seem like we would have been more successful if we just stayed at the truck and waited for them to come out of the trees.
Honestly. And it would have been more comfortable.
What did we do? You said we did like 7,500 steps or so?
Yeah, when we got back, 7,500.
Yeah. Deep snow, by the way. Like deeper snow than expected. We were north of Hinton here, and more snow than I thought there was going to be even.
Oh, there's snow, water.
Yeah.
Like we were walking through, like it was a really marshy area.
Yeah.
And I remember you went through and you're like, oh, watch your step. Make sure you, I was like, yeah, no, it's all good. No problem. I like went
deep.
Right into the water. Like my foot was covered in water. It's like, oh shit, I should have listened. But
I do feel like though, Jamie, like here's the thing. On the podcast, I've been hunting for quite a few years.
Yes.
But I feel like I've never really taken it seriously. But I've been successful without taking it seriously. Like I'll go out and like, oh, got a deer the last 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row. But now that I'm looking back on like all the deers I've got, like maybe I got a little lucky on a few of them.
Why? What makes you say that?
A couple of them were like, one of them was just driving and it would just like, it ran through it was kind of like a little cut line, and I stopped and got out, and it came on the road, stopped and stared right at me as I got out of the truck, loaded my gun and shot it. Like it was like,
wow.
Yeah. Not very usual for a deer. It was in the rut though.
Do you want to admit that on air? Because I know you're having a conversation with those guys yesterday about shooting things from the road.
Right. I know. And like they, these guys are like really good hunters, like Scott and Aaron and Matthew. Like they are like successful hunters with successful. And when I brought up like, another form of hunting is driving, they're all kind of like, oh, it's good when you have a kid and stuff. But I don't mind hunting and driving.
I think that's how, if I'm being candid, I think that's how most people do it.
There's a lot of people. Oh yeah, there's my dad calls them road warriors.
Oh really?
It's just not like, I know it's successful for some people, but it's not a great way to. I feel like you're not guaranteeing yourself a deer. Whereas the way we were doing it today, we added a few more weapons to our arsenal, and I think in the grand scheme of things, this will work out better for us. Like we'll get a deer this way.
Well, I used to work for Wild TV,
right.
Hunting and fishing television. And when I see people hunting deer on TV, I see a lot of them do the tree stand thing.
Tree stands.
Sitting in blinds.
Yeah.
And just sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the key to good hunting, is finding a good area sitting and waiting for the opportunity.
That is good, because then with especially road hunting, or even the way we're doing today, like stealth hunting, you don't have a.
Was that stealth hunting?
Yeah, we were stealth hunting today. Yeah. Did you feel stealthy, trunching through the trees?
Falling over myself and like.
Yeah. We were stealthy today. No, I know what you mean.
We scared half the forest away.
Yeah. But the thing about tree stands and the blinds is you have a chance to see the deer before they see you. They don't know you're there, so you're beaded in on them. You could take 5 minutes to take the shot, whereas when you're driving or you're like stealth hunting, a lot of time it's like that deer sees you at the same time you see it, so you got to be on it.
On the ball.
You're pulling up the gun, and you got to make sure you're up, fired, done.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in a blind or in a tree stand, it's like, I'll just have this deer in my bead for 5 minutes, and that's the way that makes it more successful, because you have a better chance of hitting them.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that I will take or say about it is anything like that takes a lot of practice.
Yep.
Yeah. And like the fact that we got out there and did it today for the first time, stealth hunting. You got to take your licks, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't do too bad.
We had fun.
Yeah, then it was a lot of fun.
We saw 2 giant bull moose.
Yeah.
Like
in the truck.
After we got in the truck, we drove down a little cut line there for down like a little oil patch road for a little bit, and came across 2 giant bull moose, like between 200 and 300 yards away, probably. Stood there, stared at us, watched us.
Yeah. That was amazing.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And
but we didn't need to leave the truck for that.
No, we were in the truck the whole time that scenario. But I have a hunting quiz I was gonna throw at you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
hit me with it.
All right.
What do you predict I'll get on this?
So is okay. Let's see. There's 8 questions.
Okay.
You get over 50%.
Yeah.
How we do this? 8 questions.
Okay.
You get over 50%.
Yeah.
And I will do a shot of scotch.
Done.
You get under 50%, you got to do a shot of scotch.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. I got a double.
Do you know the questions?
I do know the questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just for you. So if you get more than 4 right,
yeah,
I'll do a shot.
Okay.
You get less than 4 right, you got to do a shot.
Is it multiple choice?
Yep.
Oh,
you got this?
Piece of cake.
All right. Hunting quiz. This is going to be a fun one, guys. Get ready. This is all from a website I found online yesterday, and actually some pretty interesting questions here. So here we go. Question number 1. When does a doe weigh the most? A, 2 years. B, 4 years. C, 6 years. D, 8 years. When does a doe weigh the most? 2, 4, 6, or 8 years old?
I guess... that's a tough question.
And this is question number 1, by the way.
Yeah, I'll guess 8 years.
8 years. Oldest. Yeah, okay. Doe actually weighs the most 4 years old.
Oh.
They actually decline slightly in weight after the 3rd or 4th year, but remain typically pretty healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense. Like if you think about it, it makes sense.
Kind of their midlife.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's probably like people
like
too.
human. Yeah. When does a human weigh the most? 40 years old maybe, and then by that time they've either outweighed themselves, so they die of some kind of like heart attack, or they kind of like start to decline a little bit.
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, question number 2. Which bucks make the earliest rubs? Which bucks makes the earliest rubs? A, the oldest, B, the youngest, C, spikes, or D, they rub their antlers at the same time? Which bucks make the earliest rubs?
I'll say spikes.
Spikes. The oldest, actually.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh for 2 so far.
I still got 6 more.
Oh yeah, no, you
Jeez.
did. Yeah. You're on a roll.
That's good. Okay, so the oldest. Why the oldest?
That I don't know. That wasn't part of the answer for that question.
So how do you know it's right?
Well, the internet said that it was. So. Okay, question number 3. How many whitetail subspecies have biologists identified? How many whitetail subspecies have biologists identified? A, 1, B, 6, C, 12, D, more than 30.
Oh, 6.
More than 30. Over half of the subspecies are found in the U.S. and Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
What are some of the names of these subspecies?
There's the whitetail, and then there's the whitetailorus, and yeah, I could probably look that up right now and see like what are some whitetail subspecies.
I'm calling bullshit.
You think so?
Well,
you don't believe there's
subspecies?
Yeah.
Well, I know like. Okay.
So I'll look up white-tailed deer. I'll see what subtail, also known as the Virginia deer, medium-sized species of deer in North America. They're also in Peru and Bolivia and the Andes and New Zealand and the Greater Antilles and the Caribbean, Puerto Rico and Europe and Czech Republic. So there's a lot of different subspecies of these animals.
Of white-tailed deer.
Of white-tailed deer, yeah.
And mule deer is a subspecies of whitetail.
That I don't know. I don't think so. I'll look up here. Oh, here we go. Here's some of the subspecies names. So there's the borealis, the largest and darkest of the white-tailed deer, known as the northern white-tailed deer. There's the Columbian, the rarest huntable white-tailed deer in North America and the only white-tailed deer west of the Cascades. There's the Key. That's the smallest subspecies of white-tailed deer, known as the toy deer. So lots of different subspecies of them.
Well,
More than 30 of them.
but they look the same.
Well, a key deer is a smaller version of them. And like there's, yeah.
But they look the same. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so 0 for 3 so far. So Jamie needs to get the next 5 right here. Oh, boy. Okay, question number 4. At what age can a doe become pregnant? A, 6 months. B, 1 year. C, 2 years. D, 3 years.
6 months.
Boom!
Yes!
On the board.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Yes, a doe can become pregnant. You're not questioning that one, I guess, eh?
Well, I just feel like their lifespan is a lot shorter than, say, like a human's or...
Right.
Yeah. So...
6 months.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the turnover has to be pretty high on that, I think.
Question number 5. What is more common? Which is more common? Melanism. So that's a black deer.
Okay.
Albinism. That's a white deer.
Uh-huh.
Or C, both A and B are equally common. So is a black deer, a white deer, or are they equally common? Which one's...
Shoot, a black deer.
Albinism is a more common
I've
deer.
never
Albinism,
even
I guess it'd be
seen-
albinism.
I've never even seen a black deer.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, well, you didn't know about the other 30 types of subspecies of deer, too.
Well, did you know black deer? Have
This-
you seen?
To be honest, all these questions I'm asking you right now,
Yeah.
had no idea.
Really? You
Yeah,
have
I would
no
have.
idea?
I would have done worse than you
Okay.
on these questions. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Worse? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard, but I would. So now we're just playing for fun right now.
That's fine.
But it's a good learning thing right here. So you'll be able to share this information
I need a
with.
shot to take the edge off.
Yeah, you're gonna get one. Don't worry. What is the gestation period for does?
Wait.
What is the gestation period for does?
Yeah.
6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. So we learned that does can become pregnant at 6 months old.
Right.
So gestation period now is when they're pregnant.
Yeah.
How long are they pregnant
Right,
for?
yeah,
6,
yeah.
7, 8, or 9.
Right.
Humans-
I'll go for 7.
Nailed it. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Lucky number 7.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 questions left here.
Mm-hmm.
When does the main part of the rut usually occur?
November.
I'll give you. Oh, okay. I'll give you 4 options, anyways. Though, October 5th to October 22nd, October 23rd to November 5th, November 8th to the 25th, or December 24th to January 10th?
November 8th to the 25th.
Yeah, nice. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Actually, Jamie, you get this next question right. You'd be 4 for 4.
Right.
4 and 4.
4 and 4.
This is...
Yeah, so then we both have to do a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh.
Here we go.
Woo!
Here
Doggy.
we go.
All right.
How long does the average... This is an interesting question, too. I really like this question. I added it to the end. This actually was going to be a tiebreaker, but now this is going to work out good.
It's kind of a tiebreaker.
Yeah. How long does the average whitetail buck live in a hunted population?
3 years.
Let me hang on. A, 12 to 24 months.
Okay.
B, 18 to 30 months.
Yeah.
C, 30 to 42 months.
A B.
18 to 30 months. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baby.
Wow. So that's in a hunted population, which I'm trying to figure out what the definition of a hunted population is. Cause like we live in the Northern Rockies. Is this a hunted population?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Out here it's hunted. But say if
Where
you go,
is a non-hunted population?
what if you go up to close to like, how about northern BC? I think.
Less people up there, less hunted.
Yeah. Like kind of by maybe Fort Nelson. I'm sure you get people that hunt up there.
Definitely. I mean, there's less people around.
Yeah.
Probably less people getting up there. Maybe it's harder to access that area.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Deer that are living in a less accessible area,
Yeah.
whereas we have roads that can kind of get us anywhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
Plus, here is
Wow.
we got crown land and
You got the last 3 questions right. Came from behind, tied it up in the end.
yeah. So we're both doing a shot.
We're both going to do a shot here.
Fuck yeah.
In an unhunted herd, like in an unhunted population, whitetail buck, 4 to 6 years. That's how long they'll live for.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of other predators besides us.
Is that its like full lifespan? Like how long can a deer live? A whitetail deer?
Let me Google it right now. Since I'm on the Google train, let's see. Average lifespan of a whitetail? Is that what I'm looking for? Or the longest?
Longest. Yeah. The
Longest.
longevity.
Can you hear me type? I'm texting into this phone right now, into the mic. Longest lifespan.
Longest whitetail alive ever.
Yeah. How would they know? Longest living whitetail deer. Here you go. The oldest known whitetail deer was a doe in Georgia that lived to be 22 years old. Wow.
Wow.
What's
that in human years?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This record was established by Matson's Laboratory in Montana, which specializes in aging wildlife. Here's some other notable ages for whitetail deer. AI has taken over Google now. When I'm searching on Google, these are AI results, and they'll show up on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it. AI is crazy, man. It's coming.
The captive
It's here.
deer, the oldest, it has every question I want to ask here too. Son of a, these robots.
It knows you.
These robots are getting good. The oldest confirmed captive deer was 23 years old.
It's almost beyond robot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what constitutes a living being? Does it have to breathe to be living?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Wild deer. Some wild does have been recorded to live 15 to 19 years old, and at least one buck has been recorded to live at 17. The average lifespan of a wild white-tailed deer is 2 years, but a captive white-tailed deer live an average of 16.
Oh, it's a big difference.
Yeah. Factors that shorten lifespan. Factors that can shorten lifespan of a wild deer include predators by coyotes and black bears and Honda Civics.
Coyote.
Yeah.
Coyotes.
Coyotes taking down a deer. That's a tough coyote.
That would be tough, yeah.
Does tend to live long in the bucks because bucks are larger and need to eat more food to maintain their bodies.
But I guess our subspecies up here, our subspecies of whitetails are bigger, right? Because if you go down somewhere south, the subspecies is probably a lot smaller. A coyote could probably take a whitetail pretty easy.
Oh man, this is a cool one. Okay, yeah. Yeah. This is from Matson's lab. So this is the lab that recorded that old deer. So Matson's, Matson.
Yeah, 22 years.
22 for the oldest whitetail.
Yeah.
Oldest mule deer, any guesses?
Younger. 18.
20.
Okay.
Your mic's still on? You still got that thing flipped up?
Yeah.
Seems like
I'm just like, I'm easy going.
low, yeah. Oldest
Do you
elk.
want me to fucking yell into the...
Yes. Oldest elk.
I think even younger because they're a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So I'll say 16 for this.
32.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oldest coyote.
8.
15.
Okay.
Oldest bobcat.
God, I'm just out to lunch on this. 18.
23.
Okay.
And finally, the oldest grizzly bear.
22.
39.
Whoa.
Yeah, 39-year-old grizzly bear.
What a tank.
That thing's got to be a machine, eh? Yeah.
Well, not at 39. He'd probably be like a wimp.
Wow.
But
39.
I bet you like in his 20s, he's ripping shit up.
That seems pretty amazing. Yeah. Like that grizzly bear has seen a lot of stuff.
So did you know this, George? In the 1800s, back in the 1800s, humans only used to live to about 40 or 50, right?
Okay.
And as time progressed with things like penicillin, different medical advances and stuff, humans have been able to prolong their life. Now we can live till about 80, right? With AI and everything that's happening with AI right now, they're saying that within the next even 10 years, they're saying people are going to start living to 120 just because of the medical advances that AI is going to give us.
Yeah, but that 39-year-old grizzly bear is going to lower our average a bit.
Here's my point that I was making on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that if a grizzly bear had the consciousness, or any of these animals we were talking about had the consciousness that we do,
Yeah.
they'd be able to survive longer. I think it just depends on, because like if these are animals in human care that are living super long. Right?
A lot of the time, yeah, you're right. This is the animal in captivity can.
Well, that's what it's based on.
Yeah.
That's what those numbers are. Just
Yeah.
Humans helping animals survive. Right?
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. So AI is super beneficial for humans, but maybe not for anything else.
No. What I'm saying is the reason those animals live so long is because we were looking after them.
Right. Yeah. But then so what you're saying is when the robots start looking after us, then we'll live longer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scary. Yeah.
when they surpass us in intelligence, which is going to happen very soon, within the next 5 years, theoretically, it's what's been prophesized. But
Jimmy, I just poured us a shot. So this is the Johnny Walker Double Black. Do we have to shoot it or can we just sip it?
We're actually not going to live that long. Cheers.
I got an Ogopogo shot glass. You shooting it or are you just sipping it? This is strong.
Ooh. Double black.
I got this stuff because Scott.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. Scott loves scotch. So
That's
I'm like,
really good. Wow.
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott Sunderwald.
The one who was on the last episode.
Yeah, of course.
He brought this?
No, I brought it for him. I always got to keep him
appeased.
Yeah, so I got to, yes. As soon as I see, like, I'm not a big scotch drinker. And so, like we're recording a podcast and he's sipping scotch and I'm sipping beers. Which I feel bad about sometimes. Going like, I should like sip scotch with him, but I just not into it as much.
Don't like scotch. That's okay. You don't have to like scotch.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you like beer? Do you like bourbon?
No.
You don't like whiskey, period?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen him drink whiskey before.
Yeah, I've definitely drunk whiskey before, and scotch and bourbon and
rye would. So when it comes to whiskey, what's your favorite kind of whiskey? Rye whiskey?
Yeah, like
Or do you like?
there's like it probably might sound wimpy or whatever, but I like there's some Crown Royal, like some good Crown Royal flavors out there.
Rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could.
Yeah, like vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a little vanilla or
Pussy.
like the maple or like the apple, the Crown
the
Royal apple one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was so good.
Yeah, no doubt. The pumpkin flavor, you try that? You little bitch.
Nah. I know you're big into, what's your scotch that you're always drinking?
Ardbeg.
Ardbeg, yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. It's really good. I'm just joking. Honestly, the flavored Crown Royal is really good.
I got a Crown Royal in here you should try. It's like a blackberry thing.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Wild berry or blackberry or something. But
but this is
Johnny Walker.
So this is what, it's English. This is Scotch?
Black Label, yeah.
This is Scotch whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Blended Scotch.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker, is that English?
It sounds Irish. I don't know.
Yeah, Edinburgh. Oh,
Edinburgh?
It's Scottish.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Walker is Scottish.
And this stuff's like it's strong, but it's like smoothish.
It's good.
I'm drinking out of an Ogo Pogo shot glass. We had a guy on, Cameron, a couple episodes ago, big time into Sasquatch hunting.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Cameron.
He's been.
Is he from out Hinton? In Hinton?
No, he lives down in actually Fort Saskatchewan, but he's traveling all over Alberta. So he was. Christina and I, we were in Sundre on our anniversary, just for like a day down there, doing a little trip around, and
Sundre, that's by Red Deer?
Yeah, kind of in that area, yeah. And came across a flyer on like Main Street that said wanted Sasquatch sightings. If you see Sasquatch, call this number. And so then I called that number and said, hey man, didn't see one, but let's talk on the podcast.
Oh wow.
You got to be interesting.
Oh cool.
Yeah. And so he's been looking for Sasquatch for 26 years now. Hasn't come across one yet.
No. But has he come across people who have?
He's
you
come
ask him that?
Yeah, well, yeah. People have called his. He's been putting up flyers for years.
Yeah. Does he ever get prank calls?
He said he's got some, but
some.
Yeah, not as many. Not as many as I thought, because I like that seemed like that'd be a pretty good prank call.
That'd be like an easy prank call.
Yeah,
for sure.
But he said he like can tell the difference, like when someone calls it's a prank call. But what he says is he's getting stories from people who call and be like, hey, yeah, I saw Sasquatch 10 years ago out here, and it's like, okay, awesome to hear your story, but I can't. It's hard to verify now, and there's nothing I can do about it at the moment and stuff. But his, I feel like his philosophy now is Sasquatch is extinct or almost extinct. Like not many of them left. And you know,
can I ask your theory on it?
Sasquatch?
Yeah, what do you think?
It feels like at this point, if it happened, if it existed, there'd be some sightings.
Do you think it did?
There's been no bodies found, which seems like that would, so Cameron's theory behind that is like, okay, well, they just bury their.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Okay. Have there been bodies found?
Of aliens? I don't know if aliens have been here.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's the universe is so vast, we can't be the only thing.
You don't think
living.
aliens have been here?
I don't know. No.
No, never.
No.
Oh, okay.
You think so?
I think they've had to have been here.
Why?
Oh, well, just the numerous sightings over the many years of UFOs and just like the documentation,
there's
even
been
back
numerous Sasquatch sightings over many years too, though.
Egyptians and like sacrifices to the gods and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
As a mass populace, though, wouldn't we know about it?
Do you think Sasquatch is an alien?
That is a theory that's out there, is that Sasquatch has superpowers too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they like live in different dimensions and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I want to believe.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, I think it'd be super cool if there's Sasquatch living out there, but I just don't. There's been zero evidence brought forward.
Yeah. What about aliens?
Zero evidence brought forward.
Zero? Come
Well,
on. There's been some evidence.
Some evidence, but a lot of it's like.
And there's been some evidence of Sasquatch. You get that crazy video?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you're right. There is videos, and I'm just like,
I'm just a skeptic.
Maybe I'm too skeptical, right? Maybe that might be it. Yeah. Couldn't see a white-tailed deer today, but we did see a Sasquatch and an alien, so. I don't know. I think if there was aliens, we would know more about it. You know, like I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, people are good at hiding stuff, and like the government would be like, hey, we're not telling everyone about this. And,
well, what about the crazy Area 51
yeah,
thing where
there's a lot of weird stuff out there.
Reportedly, they found a crashed machine, and there's people that have like held their tongue for a long time, but then they're opening their mouth about it now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Good.
There's a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah.
I guess you don't watch TV.
No, but I'd be down to like, if there's aliens and if there's Sasquatch, perfect. I love it. I hope there is.
What if they're the same thing?
Yeah. 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 Sasquatch flew from another planet here. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. It would be cool if there was aliens.
Be nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Be nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this scotch, not bad. Pretty good. So
I'd say, honestly, it's a good drinking scotch. Like you sip it.
Sipping it.
This is like you can buy a lot shittier scotch than this.
I've tried. But this stuff was on sale, so I said, perfect.
You get Jameson's. That's like paint thinner.
Coming up on the podcast, we are going to do a Scotch review episode.
Really? You and Scott?
Scott's going to be a part of it for sure.
Okay.
I have another buddy in Edmonton that's like huge into Scotch. And
what's his name?
Andrew. Yeah. Yeah. He'll come on. I talked to him earlier this summer. He was a guy I used to work with, but he's like big into Scotch.
He's an electrician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we'll get him on, but I think that would be a fun one. But yeah. Okay. Well, this was an episode of the Wilderness Wavelength podcast.
I feel like I could talk to you all night.
I know.
Kind of like banter about bullshit.
We are going to bullshit and talk all night. We're going to turn some tunes on, and we're going to throw some darts. I want to play some darts here in the garage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thanks to everyone that's listening. And if you would like to send a message to the podcast, wildernesswave@outlook.com. Would love to hear from you. And if you have an idea for something we should do over the winter, I've been like, I'm writing out some ideas for like winter podcasts. So I want to do like a live ice fishing one. I want to go skiing one, snowboarding, like go and do record one in Marmot or something.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
That'd be so cool. You go up on the hill like above the
record one on the lift.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. That's a great idea, actually. Yeah. Recorded a lift podcast. Yeah. That'd be fun. I like that. Let's do that.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's a week right there. Perfect. I'll do an ice fishing one. I want to get into some cross country skiing too. And there's a couple of people out in the area that are big into like the Nordic Center. I want to get on, so we'll get that happening. But yeah, if you're in the Hinton area or in the Northern Rockies or just listening to this podcast, would love to hear from you. And yeah, I'm open. I'm open to talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
and he's grateful for anyone who wants to come.
And I'm grateful for anyone who wants to come on too. You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't mean it like that. I just because we were talking about the grateful thing.
Yeah. Being grateful for everything. There's this book called I gotta look it up now. I can't remember what it's called, but the concept is this guy goes and thanks everyone that's made his cup of coffee. AJ Jacobs is his name. And so he's thanking the barista that serves him his coffee. And he's like, I want to thank you for this cup of coffee. And she's like, oh, of course. Yeah, you're welcome. And then the next day he's like, okay, I'm going to go talk to like the owner of this coffee company. And then he goes, yeah, I want to thank you for making this coffee. And the guy's like, yeah, sure. Okay. And then like the next day he's like, okay, now I'm going to thank like the truck driver who drove the beans from here to here. And then the truck driver's like, all right, like this is getting weird. But in the end, he thanks 1,000 people. And yeah.
And nobody, not one of them cared.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe they did.
They did. It's in the end.
It's a sweet sentiment.
Yeah. The idea is like, hey, there's a lot of things that go into things that we use daily. Like your cup of coffee, when you think about it, it's like the people who designed, and he went into like the people who designed the lid and stuff and went and thanked the people who designed the lid that had a little cup for it. And there's a lot of people that were like, hey, we appreciate it. Like we put a lot of time into this. So, yeah.
So the moral of the story is be grateful. I think that's the moral, right? It's all about focusing on the positive instead of maybe just not realizing or just passively enjoying something and not being grateful for it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to end this podcast with a couple just like deer facts that are pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Drop tine, drop tine? So
Yes.
you got your antlers and the one antler is like facing down.
Mm-hmm. Helgi shot, they called his buck, his biggest buck, the drop tine buck. Do you know what they call him?
Yeah.
Or hole in the horn buck. Because he shot a hole through the drop tine of the deer.
That's wild.
Yeah.
1 in 500,000 is a drop tine. That seems crazy. 1 in 500,000. That seems, I thought it was more often than that.
That's mental.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
rare.
That's pretty rare.
That's probably even rarer than the black deer.
Black deer? Each fall, deer hunters see or harvest albino or piebald whitetails and discuss what's a rare occurrence, but even greater rarity is the melanistic whitetails.
The black deer.
The black deer, right? While we've all observed deer or pictures of deer with antlers, of course, there's also deer with fangs or tusks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Canine teeth.
Yo.
Extremely rare. Possibly a 1 in 10,000.
Possibly a werewolf.
Yeah. Possibly a werewolf. Yeah. Yeah. My uncle got eaten by a fanged. Yeah.
Can you imagine getting attacked by a fanged deer? That'd be crazy.
Oh my God.
What would you do?
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, here's a question for you. I'm curious what you think about this one because this is not something I'd known the answer to before. So this is like an interesting one. So you got a 10-point buck, right?
Okay.
So you got 5 on each side. How old is that buck?
Probably over 8.
2.5-year-old.
That's it?
Yeah.
No
Often
way.
it grows between 6 and 10 points per year.
So the reason I said that
Yeah.
is because that I keep going back to the hole in the horn buck by Helgi. It's the biggest buck that I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Non-typical whitetail.
Yeah.
And it was old as shit. It was a super old deer. But I guess the younger, the more, the bigger the horns grow, or
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a 2.5-year-old
yeah,
buck is 10 points.
yeah,
So like, how many points did that one have?
like fucking 300.
300? Yeah.
No, honestly, I swear.
What's the name of this buck?
Hole in the horn buck.
Let me Google this. Hole in the horn. Oh, wow, that showed up real quick. They're listening to us right now. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Hole in the horn buck is officially listed as the second largest non-typical whitetail deer of all time. The buck's antlers score 328 non-typical points.
See?
The name of the buck derives from the mysterious hole in the buck's right antler. The hole came from the pub where the buck was hanging. One night, the hole was drilled so a wire could be used to keep the buck level on the wall. That's what they're saying. That's Wikipedia. Could be wrong, but
So the story that I heard
Yeah.
through the whole is that Helgi took a shot, and the first shot he took missed,
yeah.
and it went straight through the hole,
Wow.
or straight through the drop time,
Yeah.
which kind of sounds like bullshit. I guess,
Wow.
now that I'm thinking about
That's
it.
in it. Yeah.
But that's the story they told, right?
The hole in the horn buck is one of the most famous bucks in the world due to its enormous size, mysterious hole in the right antler, and controversial score. The hole in the horn buck was part of the original legendary whitetails collection owned by Larry Huffman. Wow. Interesting story. Yeah. It does seem like there's a little controversy behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the guy who shot it his name's Helgi Ibmanson.
Yeah.
He used to work at Wild TV. He might even still work at Wild.
No
TV.
way.
Yeah.
Hole in the horn buck.
Yeah.
Wild. There's yeah. There's a lot of different stories about this one that seem to like
It's pretty nutty, isn't it?
make affect the credibility of it.
No, it was him. They shot it on air.
They
shot it on film.
I feel like there's some mixed stories because right now they're talking about how it was probably hit by a train.
Actually?
Yeah. The animal has been dead for a week or so. He's huge. He looked like he weighed between 300 and 400 pounds. He's obviously been hit by a train.
No.
This is according to MeatEater.com.
They took a video of it. They had the episode of it.
The buck was mounted and sold to a local bar for $25. For decades, it loaded over the smoke-filled lounge that kept the residents of the small town hydrated. Some speculate it was formed by an errant shot of an unlucky hunter's bullet. Others said it happened when the buck was launched by the train into a chain link fence. Oh my god! So this deer was hit by a train, Jamie. The hole in the horn buck.
That's crazy. You're actually reading this?
Yeah, the hole in the horn buck
Wow.
now sits in the Wonders of the Wildlife Museum in Springfield, Missouri.
No.
Yeah. On Wikipedia.
We can't be looking at the same thing.
Well, hole in the horn buck, right? And so they're saying.
Where's the picture, though? There's no picture of it? Yeah, that's Helgi's deer.
Helgi's deer. I feel like Helgi might have been bullshitting you.
No.
Huh.
It's on video.
What's the story of the hole?
They got it on video.
History. The hole in the horn buck was found dead along a railroad in Kent, Ohio in 1940.
No.
The buck was discovered by a group of railroad workers who had noticed the dead animal stuck under a nearby chain link fence.
Really?
A group of men freed the massive set of antlers.
A group of men.
Here we go. Okay.
A group of men.
A group of men, yeah.
This
Things are changing now, though. Things are evolving here. What is going on here? Conditions were anything but favorable on the morning of November 29th, 2007, when the avid whitetail hunter,
yeah, that sounds right.
Helgi Elmanson of
we
Edmonton,
go.
Alberta, went out and searched the Willow Coast non-Tapical.
I told you.
What is going on? So there's two hole in the horn bucks then?
Maybe.
Is this what's happening? That's a giant whitetail. Wow, that looks like a moose antler.
It's crazy.
Helgi's Alberta mammoth bird's 38 points, a 36-inch outside spread, 21-inch inside spread with a 158. Whoa, my God, this thing's massive.
He brought it in.
Okay, there's two different hole in the horns then.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Thus began a few dramatic moments on the hunt that took place last November 29th for a Canadian mega buck. Helgi Imundson of Edmonton, Alberta, was an avid whitetail hunter. Bow hunting is his passion late in the season when the temperature in Alberta drops. All right, okay. He serves as a sales manager for Wild TV. Oh, so you worked with him on Wild TV when you were there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's probably my favorite guy there, actually. Just an
Okay.
awesome person. You know?
All right. Yeah, you're really boosting him up here.
No, he's great.
Yeah, great.
He's great. I'd never say anything bad about that guy. I get a few choice words for a few other people. Right?
Massive buck. So why would they call him the hole in the horn buck then too? Because there's another hole in the horn buck already. Wow, it's quite the story about it, but huge rack.
What's up, baby?
Huge rack. 130 inches non-typical growth. Alberta's all-time best racks. The gross is 288 inches and net's about 282 inches. And that doesn't include several broken tines. The buck was thought to be an either 5.5 or 6.5-year-old and had a fairly small 250-pound frame. Amazingly, Helge shot this incredible buck with a 1933 U.S. Armory 30-06 bolt-action sniper rifle. Wow. A friend hand-loaded the bullet. They made a perfect hole through the antler without shattering it.
Ryan Kohler.
You're right. It is Ryan Cole. What the? After shooting my deer, I called my dad and he immediately drove out to the field. He was pretty excited to say the least. Shooting the buck will always be special, but sharing this with my dad was one of the proudest moments of my life. Crazy story. Yeah. Wow. The question is, was he wearing sent away?
That's the big question. Yeah.
What was his best way of sneaking up on this one? Man, yeah, crazy. There's some giant bucks out there. Haven't seen one yet this year.
Not like
hole
that.
In the horn buck.
You never see one like that.
Crazy, man. Yeah, some of these, like, yeah, you shoot something like that, you're going down in the history books. Very cool.
Definitely. Yeah.
Super cool. Okay. Yes. Let's play some darts. This is another episode of the Wilderness Wave podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Jamie. It's great seeing you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Wilderness Wavelength.